Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video I'll be discussing episodes 13 through 17 of the anime series Shingeki no Kyojin, also known as Attack on Titan. My approach, as it has been with parts 1 and 2 of my coverage of the series, is to tackle every 6 episodes with a single discussion video to follow, and herein so begins part 3. It is with a great sense of satisfaction that we see Eren successfully complete the task of sealing off the oncoming Titans from Wall Rose in the early going of this third stretch of 6 episodes. But this success comes not without the high cost of lives lost to the wretched giants, a point driven home by the countless bodies still having to be cataloged and interred once the rest of the Titans have been dispatched. As if their legacy hasn't been stymieing enough, we are given the sickening realization that Titans, once they've had their fill of the oh-so-many tasty little human snacks they ingest, will retch them up again, leaving behind a nasty giant puke ball filled with corpse mash, a gruesome and hideous addition to the overall intel that has so forth been collected on the creatures, to be sure. With the day done in victory, however, does Eren eventually come to, being held within a prison cell and facing the Recon Corps elite that saved he, Mikasa, and Armin in those last moments, Levi. Levi and a man named Erwin want to know what Eren's plans are exactly from that moment on, and there is little surprise that Eren's wish continues to be the eradication of the Titans altogether. But it is somewhat surprising to realize that Erwin, Levi, and probably a whole host of higher-ups in the government were holding the suspicion that Eren's father kept hidden away the secrets of the Titans, and that it is even now Eren himself who literally holds the key to whatever revelations that entails. They ask him simply enough, "Will you help us to retake Wall Maria and uncover whatever secrets it is that your father kept?" And Eren holds nothing back, letting it be known that one way or another it shall be done. But it isn't quite as simple as all that, as whispers of a civil war between humans both praising and fearing Eren's great power necessitate that a military tribunal be held to determine Eren's fate. On one side, you've got Erwin and Levi ready to put Eren into their employ in the Recon Corps as they promised, and on the other side you've got the military police wanting to put him to death as a sacrifice for mankind. Right next to them is a priest representing the nation's theology and decreeing Eren to be an evil that must be quelled. It truly amazed me to watch as Levi himself intervenes when Eren has begun to speak out of frustration and rage against these humans who've never even encountered a Titan themselves, let alone went up against one in battle. Levi literally beats the teeth out of him to prove the point that he'll be capable of keeping Eren reined in if necessary. The sight is impressively and effectively shocking, leading the presiding leader, a man named Darius Vackley, to make a judgment in favor of Eren's continued work with the Recon Corps. And I had to wonder if Mikasa hadn't silently resolved to send Levi packing if indeed the need ever arose, and it looked like Eren's life depended on her intervention, which wasn't so far off from the case. What's spectacular about this series, though, are the myriad surprises as yet being revealed around every corner. And it's a whole host of surprises that are unleashed when Eren is taken into hiding at a former Recon Corps castle, wherein he gets into a close discussion with Major Hanji. Hanji comes across as being a bit more than just slightly unhinged. She leads the charge of experimentation on the Titans that are caught to try to better understand them. Her story is not all that unlike Eren's in the beginning, as it's fueled by rage and vengeance against these towering foes, but ultimately does her entire viewpoint shift when she realizes that the Titans lack a sense of comparable mass to their overall size. In effect, they're lighter than they should be. And so, with a new sense of purpose, had Hanji set out to understand these creatures, becoming, I think it's fair to say, a bit too close to them in the process, giving the Titans the names of cannibal leaders from the forgotten eras of early mankind, and taking pleasure in keeping company with them at all hours, and even laughing hysterically when they instinctively try again to eat her. It's easy to see why it is, then, that her plans to include Eren in her air-quotes studies are soon intervened upon by those who find distaste with such notions, as the two Titans being held in captivity and studied are put to death. Was it perhaps just the slightest bit telling when Erwin leans into Eren, who is looking over the scene aghast, to ask him what he thinks of the enemy, implying perhaps that there is some choice laid between the Titans and mankind itself? It was truly compelling, whatever your interpretation on that scene was, and it only got more and more compelling and even a little inspiring as Jean, Sasha, Armin, and Mikasa, and the lot of Eren's former graduate unit all decided to join up with the Recon Corps, being ushered immediately into the Special Operations Band of that group. Each of them terrified, yet driven by the losses they've faced, the voices of friends who've lost all their days, and the days that lie ahead wherein they truly hope humanity will one day be free of the Titans once and for all. Even in the face of such uncertainty in Eren's ability to control his Titan beater form, do they all don the wings of freedom as a vow both to him as well as their cause, such devotion and perseverance being a rare and affirming gift. And so it is that these soldiers for humanity head out into the frontier, with the goal of reaching Zingashina and Eren's father's secrets waiting to be unleashed. But as soon as the Corps enters the flatlands on horseback, is their challenge revealed to them. Amidst a few aberrant Titans, one of which is taken down and the other not so much, is a huge hulking female Titan runner that accosts Armin in a way that allows it to focus on his face, as if it's looking for someone in particular. This Titan runner is intelligent and immediately signals to Armin that it must be, akin to Eren, a human in a Titan body. But who is it? And is she, as Armin suspects, looking to find Eren? These questions and more play around in my mind as this selection of 6 episodes comes to a close. Will this Titan runner's identity be revealed? Will her cause be to aid or put a stop to the Corps' and more specifically Eren's goals? Is she perhaps Mikasa, even in a Titan's guise, still seeking to protect Eren? Time will surely tell. And in the meantime, very nearly were we seeing Sasha, Jean, Armin, and the others who haven't as yet been cornered by Titans, risking it all for their efforts, and only just getting away with their lives intact by the skin of their teeth. This series has truly marveled me with such high-flying and spectacular action and compelling drama sequences, and even more so has it in making these largely supporting characters matter to me just as much as the main trio of Eren, Mikasa, and Armin. I'd like to hope for their all surviving these calamitous encounters as they power on through to find and put an end to it for humanity's sake. But I have to wonder whether that'll mean defeating the Titans once and for all, or finding a way to bridge that gap between the two, whether that means a pseudo-peaceful coexistence, or creating even a supplementary ability for all mankind to do as Eren does, and tighten themselves out, so as to survive through becoming their very enemy. And I still, too, have to wonder about Eren's elusive father and the secrets he holds. Does this all go back to some ancient era wherein the world's leaders chose to create the hope of peace through these giant and grotesque creatures born to slaughter man? Are they all humans who've mutated into beasts? And if not, what are their origins? In any event, I'm looking heavily forward to the next stretch of 6 episodes and the eventual conclusion of the series, and I can only hope that its end will match its beginning and middle in just how amazing the journey has been thus far. And so, that'll be it from me on Attack on Titan episodes 13 through 17, and I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you've thought of the series up to this point, and please remember to post no spoilers if you've read ahead in the manga. And otherwise, be sure to stay tuned in another several weeks' time for my likely finale piece to my overall series reviews on Shingeki no Kyojin or Attack on Titan with Part 4. And otherwise, I'll catch you all later. Peace.